So you don't know how to write this statement of applicability, you don't know why it is needed in the first place. So in this video today, I'll show you what are the mandatory requirements, what are the mandatory elements of a statement of applicability according to ISO 27001, what are the inputs needed for you to write this document, and also why the certification auditors pay specific attention to this document, and this is actually the main document they use during the certification audit. I'll also show you a real-life example of a statement of applicability by showing you how to fill out this template using ISO 27000 software. And after watching this video, you'll have a clear idea on how to finish this document in a minimum amount of time. And I made this video for beginners who are doing this statement of applicability for the first time, so I'll explain the whole topic in an easy to understand language. And if you want to learn more about ISO 27001, you can click the subscribe button below to subscribe to my channel and watch some other videos on this topic. So what is a statement of applicability according to ISO 27001? Basically, this is a document where you have to list the controls from the Annex A and define what you will do about them. So the mandatory part or mandatory elements of this statement of applicability are, first of all the controls from the Annex A. Second, for each control you have to define whether it's applicable or not. Third, you have to define what is the status of each control, and then you must also define what is the justification for inclusion or for exclusion of a particular control. Also, you could add the implementation method, so basically how you intend to implement each and every control. This one is not mandatory part of statement of applicability, but this is highly recommended to have it. So for the justification, you typically write the reference to risks or requirements from interested parties, and I'll explain this in a minute. For implementation method, you usually refer to policies and procedures that you will be using for implementing a particular control, or you can very briefly describe next to each control in text how you intend to implement a particular control. Now, when it comes to status, typically you have the status that a control is not implemented, or that is already fully implemented, or that you are planning to implement it in the future. Now, to be able to write a statement of applicability, you need two main inputs. The first one is the results of the risk assessment and treatment. So all the controls that are actually found during the risk treatment process, you actually have to list them in the statement of applicability as a justification, and this is basically one of the reasons to select a particular control as applicable in the SoA. The second input for a statement of applicability are the requirements of interested parties. So if you have, let's say, a client who specifically asks you to perform a backup in a certain way, then you have to show this requirement as a justification for a backup control. Also, you might have some laws and regulations which would require you to implement a certain type of encryption or something like this. Now, the main output from the statement of applicability, or the next step that actually happens after the statement of applicability, is the risk treatment plan. There you have to define how you're going to implement each control that is in the status that is not implemented yet or that is only planned. So why is this statement of applicability important for companies? Because in the first place, it actually summarizes everything that you're planning to do with regards to security. You have in one document all the controls that you that you will implement or that you already implemented. You know exactly in which status they are. You know why you're implementing them or not implementing them. So this is a kind of a security profile of your company, and you will know by looking at this one document, you will know exactly where to look further, especially if you listed all the implementation methods. Now, this document is also crucial for ISO 27000 certification auditors. This is actually the most important document that they will actually use to audit your company, because again, they will see your security profile, they will know exactly which controls you applied, how you're going to apply them. So this is the central document that the auditor will use as a kind of a checklist. Okay, now I'll show you a statement of applicability example and how to use this document in real life using Conformia software. Okay, here in Conformio you can see a statement of applicability, and it's displayed basically in the form of a register. So you can see here the column for control ID, for control name, whether a control is applicable or not, justification, implementation method, and also these colors here show the status. And you can see here on the left hand side the explanation for each of these statuses. Now, when you go into each and every control, you can see that there are actually many controls listed here, so all the 93. And basically, for each control, you can actually select whether it's applicable or not. You simply, click this button here. If it is applicable, it automatically shows the risks, so you can see the risk IDs. But if you hover over this, then you can see actually what risk exactly each of these. What are the elements of these risks, and also the software automatically suggests the implementation methods. So for example, for this 8.5.2, automatically the software suggests the specification for information system requirements. If you scroll down, you can actually see that there are many other documents that are suggested by the software. So for threat intelligence, there are security procedures for IT department, supplier security policy, incident management procedure, and so on. And also, as part of Conformio, you will see then later on that these documents are then created automatically. So all you have to do is fill out the specific details for your company in these documents. So there is this automation which actually shows automatically the risks which are relevant for each control. Also, if I scroll down, you will see some requirements from interested parties. For example, this one here, privacy and protection of PII. And then you have also the outputs. These are these implementation methods. These are the documents that you have to write. And then once you actually write any of these documents, then the status is automatically changed here in this statement of applicability based on what you complete as part of your implementation. Okay, I hope this was helpful, and you can use this link to sign up for a free trial of Conformio and to fill out the statement of applicability yourself, and also risk register, register of requirements, and all other documents and elements of this standard.